Hello, Yankees Nation. Welcome back to your go-to channel for everything Bronx Bombers, New York Yankees News Network. Today, we've got a jam-packed episode with the latest updates straight from the field that happened just hours ago. If you're a true Yankees fan, you won't want to miss these breaking updates. And before we dive in, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a beat on the Yankees' journey this season. Now, let's get into it. Update 1. Yankees drop spring opener, but some bright spots shine. Spring training is officially underway, and while the Yankees couldn't come away with a win in their first exhibition game, there were still plenty of takeaways for fans to be excited about. The Bronx Bombers fell 6-4 against the Toronto Blue Jays, but let's break it down beyond just the score. One of the biggest takeaways from the game was the strong performance of left-hander Easton Lucas. The young pitcher worked 2 solid innings, striking out 3 batters while allowing just 1 base runner, who reached via a hit-by-pitch. In a spring training game where the goal is to shake off the rust and show progress, Lucas did exactly what the Yankees wanted to see. Reliever Brendan Little also turned heads, delivering a quick and efficient 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout in the 3rd. However, not all pitching performances were smooth sailing. Zach Pop made things interesting, putting a runner in scoring position after allowing a walk and a single, but managed to escape without allowing a run. On the offensive side, the Yankees faced early trouble against Toronto's pitching staff. Carlos Rodon, who is expected to play a major role in the Yankees' rotation this season, had a rough outing. He was jumped on early, allowing a run in the 1st inning after a single, a stolen base, and a run-scoring hit by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. In the 2nd inning, Ernie Clement manufactured a run all on his own, singling, stealing second, advancing on a fly ball, and scoring on a wild pitch. By the 3rd inning, Toronto had added another run, and that was enough to chase Rodon from the game. Later in the game, Yankees fans finally got something to cheer about when prospect Alexander Vargas stepped up and delivered a clutch moment, sending a game-tying home run into the seats in the 8th inning. It was a much-needed spark that injected some energy back into the game for the Yankees. Unfortunately, the lead didn't last long. In the bottom of the 8th, the Blue Jays responded. Riley Tirota reached on an error, and Stuart Baroa made the Yankees pay with a go-ahead double. Baroa later scored on a wild pitch, sealing the game for Toronto. While it wasn't the outcome the Yankees wanted, let's remember, spring training is about getting into rhythm, and there were still positives to take from this game. Lucas looked strong on the mound, and young players like Vargas showed their ability to make an impact. Update 2. ESPN dropping MLB broadcasts. What this means for the Yankees and baseball fans. Yankees fans, this next update is a massive shakeup for Major League Baseball, and it could have long-term consequences for how we watch our favorite team. ESPN and Major League Baseball have officially announced that they are ending their television agreement after the 2025 season, 3 years ahead of schedule. This means that starting in 2026, ESPN will no longer broadcast Sunday Night Baseball, the Home Run Derby, or the wild card round of the playoffs. Now let's break down why this is happening and why it's bad news for baseball fans, especially Yankees fans. First off, ESPN cited financial reasons for backing out. The network has been paying $550 million per year for the rights to broadcast MLB games, but they feel that price is too high, especially as their overall baseball coverage has declined in recent years. On the other hand, Major League Baseball believes ESPN hasn't been giving the sport the attention it deserves, and that the network has been slowly phasing out baseball coverage for a while now. Now, why does this matter to Yankees fans? Because ESPN is still one of the biggest sports networks in the country, and while their baseball coverage hasn't always been perfect, it gave the Yankees and the game of baseball a massive national audience. No matter who takes over those broadcast slots, whether it's another cable network or a streaming service, there's a real chance that fewer people will be watching baseball in the future. And let's be honest, when the Yankees are in prime time on Sunday Night Baseball, it's a huge deal. But here's where things get even trickier. This move could also impact Major League Baseball's next collective bargaining agreement in a big way. The current CBA, which was signed after the lockout in 2022, will expire in 2026, the same year ESPN's contract officially ends. And with ESPN pulling out of its massive deal, that means MLB is losing $550 million in revenue. That's a huge chunk of money that the league was counting on. So what happens next? Well, it's possible that MLB will try to sign a new deal with another broadcaster or a streaming service, but history tells us that they won't get the same kind of money they were getting from ESPN. Just look at what happened when they sold the rights to Friday Night Baseball to Apple. They only got $85 million for that deal. The same thing happened with Roku, which is now broadcasting Sunday morning games for just $10 million. With less money coming in, there's a real possibility that the league's owners will push for a salary cap in the next labor negotiations. And you know who won't be happy about that? The Yankees. The Yankees have always been one of baseball's biggest spenders, willing to invest heavily in top-tier talent. A salary cap would limit their ability to build a powerhouse roster and could prevent them from making blockbuster moves in the future. If this ESPN deal collapsing leads to a financial war between owners and players, it could set the stage for another lockout. And that's the last thing baseball fans want. Now, some people might argue that this could be an opportunity for Major League Baseball to expand its reach. Maybe they strike a new, better deal that increases the game's visibility. But given how Commissioner Rob Manfred has handled media rights in the past, do you really trust the league to get this right? Yankees fans, what do you think? Are you worried about how this will impact the future of baseball broadcasting? Will this hurt the Yankees in the long run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Update 3. Juan Soto makes a statement with a monster home run, but he's wearing the wrong jersey. Yankees fans, brace yourselves. This one might sting a little. Former Yankee slugger Juan Soto made his highly anticipated debut for the New York Mets in spring training, and in true Soto fashion, he wasted no time making an impact. In his very first at-bat, he crushed a 426-foot home run to deep left center field against the Houston Astros. Yes, you heard that right. Soto, now wearing Mets colors, sent a baseball into orbit in his first swing of spring training. And while Mets fans celebrated, Yankees fans couldn't help but feel a little bitter watching one of the game's biggest superstars shine in the other New York uniform. Soto didn't stop there. In his next plate appearance, he drove in another run with a ground ball, showing exactly why he was one of the most sought-after players this offseason. And here's the kicker. This isn't even the first time Soto has homered in his first spring training game in New York. Last year, in his debut for the Yankees, he crushed a 3-run shot against the Toronto Blue Jays. But now, instead of anchoring the Yankees lineup, he's doing damage for the Mets. And that brings us to the elephant in the room. Why isn't Juan Soto still a Yankee? Let's be real. Yankees fans wanted Soto to stay in the Bronx. After his short but impactful time with the team, it felt like he belonged in pinstripes. But when free agency came around, the Mets came in with a jaw-dropping offer, a record-breaking $765 million contract over 15 years. That's a number the Yankees simply weren't willing to match. Meanwhile, the Mets are counting on him to be their new offensive leader, pairing him with stars like Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso. And if his first game is any indication, they might have made the best move of the offseason. But let's not forget, the Yankees still have a stacked lineup. All right, Yankees Nation, that wraps up today's jam-packed update. From the Yankees dropping their spring opener, to ESPN walking away from Major League Baseball, to Juan Soto making headlines in the wrong New York jersey, there's a lot to talk about. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to stay in the loop with all things Yankees. We've got a long season ahead, and you won't want to miss any updates, rumors, and game breakdowns right here on the New York Yankees News Network. Until next time, stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, let's go Yankees!